This is the One Episode Rule podcast about first impressions. I am Magpie, continuing this podcast with Baki posting. Some more things have happened, and I thought the faces were bad, but I've now seen an ass in Baki, and my entire world has changed. It is possibly one of the worst asses I have ever seen.
Yep.
From that, it's from that bit where he fights Skiorski naked.
Oh, yeah, it's a lot.
And then Oliver throws him out a fucking window. But yeah, that's how that's going.
Mm-hmm.
It's become real painful because I'm sucked into it, even though there's more, like the rest of JoJo has come out, and I
Wait, the
could be
rest of
watching
JoJo came
that.
out?
I think so, yeah.
Ooh, yummy.
And I could be watching that, but anyway, how are you guys?
I'm doing good. I'm Blackle. I have not watched any anime. I was up in the northern country.
Hanging out with chipmunks.
Hanging out with chipmunks, hanging out with bugs, did some canoeing. It was fun.
Aw, that sounds fun.
Why did I expect you to say doing some coke? I don't know.
Just little Canadian things.
We do a little coke.
Hashtag just Canadian things.
Hello, I am Joey, and I actually did watch some anime this week. Me and Louie here caught up on Futo PI, so that was fun.
How's that?
Yeah, I liked it. I was having a good time, so.
I was also there. I just didn't watch it.
Yeah.
Louis, do you have any more thoughts?
No, it was good. I liked it. I'm pleasantly surprised at the quality the show is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like the art, the animation, like the voice acting, it's all good. It's all like top notch.
Looks pretty nice. Sounds pretty nice. It's good. It's fun.
It is kind of horny sometimes.
Like I said, every single episode, it feels very much like they have a horny quota to meet, because there will always be at least one extremely gratuitous like titty shot, or they'll pan up the thigh, or something.
And it's usually Tokume.
I have a theory about this, which is I think that most anime fall into two camps, which is they're either kind of horny all the time or almost entirely sexless.
Yeah.
Well, see, this is why I like Jujutsu Kaisen so much, because the author is like, my parents read this. I can't make it horny.
I can't make it horny. That's entirely sexless.
It's pretty funny.
Shows like a lot of like shonen fight anime are pretty much entirely sexless. Like Goku doesn't even know what kissing is.
Yeah.
This man has children.
It's funny because One Piece is a very weird niche in that Luffy is essentially a nice sexual character, but then you got characters like Sanji who won't stop being horny for even 2 milliseconds. So it's like, it's a whiplash sometimes. But anyhow.
I want to say Baki is entirely sexless, but I know it isn't.
No, it's not.
It's a plot point. Anyway.
It's a plot point.
Anyway, do we want to move on and get to the news and shit?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Sure.
We got a little news.
News.
News. Let's see.
That's the news thing.
Here's something that's gonna surprise the shit out of you. The Rose of Versailles is getting a movie to celebrate its 50th anniversary.
Huh.
There's going to be new content for extremely gay 70s shoujo anime. Rose of Versailles.
Yeah, baby. I need to watch more of that at some point.
So yeah, I guess everything leads back to it. Like the fact that large portions of Berserk were inspired by it. Like if you look at Griffith and then look at Oscar, you're just like, oh shit, Griffith is just Oscar. So yeah, that's That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen I have seen the new quote unquote not safe for work trailer for Cyberpunk Edge Runners.
Oh boy.
And unfortunately, I must report that it appears to be good.
Uh-oh.
It looks pretty dope in general.
What
Most of
makes
the
it not
trailer,
safe for work?
there were titties.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, now there weren't like a lot, like and
Okay.
prolonged, because it can't stay on one scene for more than 10 seconds.
I mean, it's a
um,
trailer.
so it's a trailer that is mostly composed out of Beethoven's Ode to Joy performed by gunshots. So yeah,
Oh,
That
so
sounds pretty rad, actually.
this is the epitome of head empty trigger animation, and I guess I'm here for it.
Uh-huh.
And that's the news I've got. Louis, you
hello.
approached us. You approached the council with an offering.
You're a
Reveal
Yes,
it.
I have an offering to make to the. I want to call you like the triad, but that's not right.
Mm.
It's
triumvirate.
called Yurei Deco.
You're a
Uh-huh.
deco.
Yes,
All right.
it came out back in July, so it's pretty recent.
Okay.
And I don't know, just some I've heard people talk about it, but I don't know much about it.
All
So I
right,
thought it'd be something fun.
let's find
Yeah.
out what it is then. All right, we've finally done it. We found the anime universe that would cause me as a person to become the Joker.
I did look at this and think this would not be a universe that you could possibly exist in.
I couldn't live here. It would
You need
make
to-
me into an insane person.
You need likes or you die.
So who wants this blurb? Hmm?
I'll do it. I will do it this time.
I'll post it.
In the cyber city Tom Sawyer, society revolves around earning love. It's called that. Akin to receiving likes on social media. Citizens of this augmented reality exchange love for public services and appearance-changing avatars via the Decoration Customizer, also known as Deco, a hologram device planted in an individual's eyes from early childhood. Under the government's careful management, the people of Tom Sawyer live a peaceful existence, outside the occasional appearance of Phantom Zero, a mysterious criminal who brings all love to zero within their vicinity. Barry, a mischievous girl fascinated by Phantom Zero, lives comfortably in the system of Tom Sawyer until her
Tom
Deco
Soylent?
Freudian
these
slip.
words lives comfortably in the system of Tom Sawyer until her Deco malfunctions, enabling her to see a camouflaged prankster named Hack. Believing Hack to be Phantom Zero, Barry chases after the suspect, and in the process begins to uncover society's most well-kept secrets. As it turns out, Hack is not the only person living outside the system's rules, and the vibrant colors of Tom Sawyer hide a darker nature.
How could that be possible? Tom Sawyer is the perfect implementation of liberalism.
As you when you
He
said
said that.
when you started that in the cyber city of Tom Sawyer, my brain
I
autocompleted
know.
to mean pride. Though his mind is not for rent, don't put him down as arrogant.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Anyhow,
His reserve a quiet defense, riding out the day's events.
yep. Really, really relatable joke that everyone's
What?
going to understand.
Blackle, do you know?
No. I don't know nothing.
I can't believe you. You're fucking Canadian. And you don't know Rush?
I know Rush, but I only know the one song that has no lyrics in it.
What, YYZ?
Yes,
That's a good one.
it is good.
Anyhow,
I can't believe you
so
guys don't know Tom Sawyer. That's a fucking banger.
I'm sure I've heard it before, but it's not a big
You
Rush
completely
listener.
deflated me. I don't
What?
want to do the podcast anymore.
You have to. You have to do it.
I don't want to do this rundown. Leave me alone.
Don't be a nerdy birdie.
Oh God. Okay, so let's get my anime list open. Okay, here we go. So we open we open on like okay, yeah. Our cold open is our character Hack, whose name we do not learn in this first episode, but we will have to call them Hack because otherwise they don't have a name.
Yep.
Yeah.
Doing some shit. You see, the world of Tom Sawyer is, they say it's a cyber world, but it's not like Summer Wars. This is a universe concept that I will describe as AR hell.
It's
It-
Denocoil.
This reminds me of if someone made worlds into a real thing.
Yeah.
This reminds me of a universe where Elon Musk has decreed that all children must have cybernetic eyes so that they can be shown advertisements at all
Yeah.
times.
Uh-huh. God.
You gotta get the likes. You gotta.
And
There's
it's-
shapes everywhere. It's really weird. I can't
They
describe the
combine-
vibes of this.
They can. Oh God, I can't freak out about this yet. I'm gonna have to wait. So anyway, we open on Hack doing some pranks. She's setting up.
Pranksis.
She's setting up some pranks for later. She's got these invisible little roses that she's throwing as airplanes, and they're landing in different places.
Yep.
And sticking. So clearly, there's some sort of like surveillance device.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yep.
a clandestine style. And the whole time they're talking about this folk tale that's the story of a giant with 1,000 eyes that he could only rest in sequence. So he was never truly asleep, and he spent the whole time what. And since he saw everything, the people asked him to watch over the world, thus he did, happy to be of help. But whenever he reported someone doing something treacherous, he angered everyone, and they killed him.
Yep.
And made his eyes, and taking pity on him afterwards, made his eyes the spots on the peacock's feathers. In a really heavy-handed metaphor about
About surveillance.
mass surveillance.
Yeah, it
Um,
was
um,
something.
Yeah.
I don't know what the moral of that folktale is, but
No, I don't really. It was a bit of a weird one.
yes, I would also be scared of the all-seeing giant. We could have a talk about the difference between that and like a Western equivalent being the fucking eye from the Magnus Archives, but
Yeah,
uh,
a horror icon.
so yeah, and she's just doing the stuff, and then we drop in on a really stylish opening. This show in general, very very stylish, very good looking.
It looks good.
After which we go to class. We go to class in like what is it called in Summer Wars? It's Oz.
It's Oz.
Yeah, they go to class in Oz, and just like a little like a demi-plane, a little sub-dimension of the internet.
Mhm.
They got on
Mhm.
Zoom.
Yeah, they got
something.
they're in their Zoom classroom with Albert Einstein. And
But
Yeah.
they're also like all cats and like
They're all
They're all
furries.
like different
Yeah, they're all-
creatures.
they're all creatures.
various
Cats,
little
frog.
red cat.
There's
Very
a little
cute.
red cat. Her friend is like a kappa or something, or a frog.
Mhm.
I can't remember. But anyway, the guy is explaining to these grown children the rules of their society, which is only for the viewers' benefit because they would know
Yeah.
this shit.
Yeah.
It's on the nose as hell.
So they actually mute and start talking about a character that they've heard of called Phantom Zero that causes the currency of this world to disappear, the likes, the love, to drain out to zero, and how fucking weird that is from the inside, because we'll learn later that these are characters from like an Aldous Huxley novel and don't understand that there
Yeah.
are people outside of the system.
Yeah.
Mhm.
the people of Omalaz are unaware of outsiders. um, but yeah, so they have a talk about this, and they're scandalized by it and interested because they're kids, and it's different.
Right.
Of
Yep.
course they are.
Mhm.
Like it's just like it's just like in America we have a new like famous criminal every couple of years that we're all just like, ah, shit, that scamp.
Yeah.
We haven't had one in a while. I don't think Ezra Miller counts.
I was gonna say Logan Paul, but you know.
That's actually more closer, I think.
The last one
Yeah.
I
To the
was thinking
vibes.
about, the last one I was thinking about is the barefoot kid who used to steal planes all the time and also made like got like 14 girls pregnant or something. But anyway,
Oh, gee.
um, Mama did try, but
Mm.
uh, but yeah, and yeah, they get caught because Barry's Deco, one of her Decos in her right eye is glitching out, so the mute effect fuzzes out, and the teacher sees it.
Yep.
And they're just like, "What are you doing?" And she's just like, one of my decos is acting up. I'll just play this back later," and then notes the fuck out of class, which is always funny.
Yep.
Mhm.
Goodbye. I don't know if anybody else has the Windows like 98 voice that says goodbye when you turn off your computer in
Goodbye.
your head.
I know that voice.
My computers growing up never had sound drivers installed correctly, so we never had any audio.
Uh,
I remember that sound specifically because it was the sound of a power outage destroying my progress in a long RPG.
oh
Um,
no.
Just the computer going, goodbye.
Goodbye.
I'm just like, what the fuck do you mean goodbye?
That is
Um,
funny that it would have time to do that.
Say that, yeah. We have to shut down now, but I'll
Um,
say goodbye.
Anyway, so yeah, her deco's fucked up, and her mom like kicks the door and is just like, "Hey, you log out of class early," and she's like, "Yeah, I gotta listen. It's
It's
important.
recorded. I can watch it
It's
later.
recorded, and somebody saw Zorro. I gotta find out about it."
Da-da-da-da-da, Zorro's back.
And she's just like, "That's bullshit, but whatever. I have to go back to work." You should go to the optometrist because your eyeball is clearly fucked up.
Yep.
So she uses that as an excuse to go outside and fuck around in AR hell. So if you look past all the bullshit, you'll realize that this city is just an oppressive concrete nightmare.
Mhm.
So full of shapes, but the shapes do not cover up how shitty it is.
There's no greenery.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to look at.
There are no plants. But yeah, but it's all coated up with like bright arcade carpet shapes.
Yeah.
Like, it
Because
literally looks like someone took a preschooler's, like, here's a triangle,
Mhm.
here's a square, they're all just gonna be floating around everywhere.
Well, no,
Mhm.
it is a little more complex than that. It looks like chunky like polygons and shit that you'd see on like a fun like camp colored shirt from 1986.
Mhm.
So
It reminds me of the aesthetic of the kids' TV show Zoom.
it's something you couldn't imagine, which is a laser tag arena in daylight.
Yes, that feels appropriate.
Yes, it
But
is.
but she's bumbling around. In the area Phantom Zero was quote unquote last spotted, and she spies something with her broken eye. Uh, because it turns out with her fucked up right eye, she can actually perceive the weird little listening devices Hack has been leaving around, and in fact can witness Hack herself because of her invisibility thing doesn't work if your deco is fucked up.
Yeah, they're
Mhm.
like half invisible being.
It's an invisibility spell that requires the viewer to have perfect eyesight. Um,
Mhm.
so yeah, Barry of course is just like, who the fuck is that? That person's fucking invisible. I can only see him with my
Yeah.
right eye. I'm gonna follow him. That's got to be Phantom Zero, right? And she does. She tails her, and Hack is doing some. She's doing some shit. What she's doing is collecting her listening devices so that she can pick out marks like a guy that looks like Homer Simpson's drunk friend Barney from from Moe's, and you'd be like, that guy's got an excess of love.
Mhm.
I should fucking rob him.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So she does. She does a fraud on him by plunging him into a hallucinatory nightmare where his dead
Really
father is
scary.
back and is disappointed in him for taking his fortune and not seeing to his affairs.
They're suddenly in this like
They're in Minecraft,
they're in Minecraft. Yeah, kinda.
and yeah, he's just like that love is mine. I worked hard for it. Return it. And he comes up with a transfer prompt, and he's just like, "I'm sorry, Dad," because the man is a dipshit, but did apparently love his father.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he ashamedly transfers the 200,000 out. Upon which the hallucination immediately ends, and Hack is just like, "You should spend the rest on a funeral later, fucker." And all of his like decorations and shit just disappear. So he's
Yeah.
just like a regular kind of paunchy guy.
Yeah, he's
Mm-hmm.
so
He's
funny
just
to
like,
see his avatar go away.
and he's just like, "Oh shit, is that Phantom Zero?" Uh, and Barry's just like, "Shit, that's Phantom Zero, right?" So she confronts her while she's looking for more listening devices. She says her own catchphrase to her, "I love I," which is fucking Japanese and that
It's
stupid word.
it's so
Um,
weird.
um, it's the fucking it's English I, the particle, and then the English word love, and then the Japanese word I, which means love. So it would end up being pronounced I.
Yeah, it's
It's stupid. Anyway, to which the character goes, "Ah, shit, you can see me.
yeah.
I hate it when people see me."
I hate it when people see me. Bye, nerd.
Hate to be
She-
perceived.
so yeah, she books it. And yeah, thus ensues a chase in which we find out that Hack is a parkour idiot and a good one. And Barry is
Yeah.
not. And she corners her in an alleyway, and she does the video game wall jump all the way up to the rooftops and leaves.
Yep. Barry's just like, what the fuck, man?
Like, what the fuck? That's cheating.
Yeah.
Like,
Hardcore parkour.
You could just go back into the scene and edit in the Mario wall jump noise.
Yes. Woo, woo.
In fact, that's something Hack does. Is she fucks up some kid's video game that's being played on the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really.
She moves a spike trap. It's really spiteful for not necessary.
Hack's
So
a
yeah,
bit of a gremlin.
yeah, a
Yeah.
little bit. She's a little bit of a she's a little bit of a Ed Bebop.
A little bit, yeah.
So yeah, Barry goes home because she failed to catch him. Oh yeah, and there's a little scene where she drops into the Phantom Zero report. What is it called? The Phantom
Oh,
Zero Report
Investigation.
Bureau.
Yeah.
Like that.
It looks like a police precinct, and she has a whole new avatar with like a Sherpa coat and aviators and a
it's
badge.
really good. I
I'm just
like
like,
it.
this scene is good. You got some 80s style donut eating cops inside, and they're just
Uh-huh.
like, "Oh shit, for real? You saw her?" And then there's just like, "There's no data. I only saw her under my fucked up eye." And they're like, "Picture it didn't happen, loser."
Yeah.
I
Because of
Like,
the colors, I assumed they were the same as the classmates.
Probably.
assume
Yeah,
so.
that
Yeah.
makes sense.
That would be it would be very good for this show where characters have multiple appearances to establish very consistent color palettes for them.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
through line.
Um, so yeah, she goes home having been defeated, and has to explain to her parents that she didn't go to the optometrist, which is going to become a plot point later because she's going to need that eye to see invisible shit.
Yep.
Unless Hack tells her how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
She gets off. She barely scrapes by with a lie and gets gifted a cute eye patch,
With a little kitty on it.
which she will lose in 5 minutes. But
Yep, it's fine.
so she racks out on the bed and she's just like, "Huh, Well, I got this rose thing. Hey, you know what I can do? We cut back to Hack, sneaking through the city and going through. I love these holographic signs of policemen that are just like no entry that you can just walk through. It's
Yeah.
it's the ultimate version of I'm a sign, not a cop.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, she nopes down to some storage, some like maintenance storage room area where she's apparently living, and tries to kick off her shoes and relax with her weird little. I don't know what's physical in this show.
I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, me
It's
neither.
really.
It's either a robot friend or a hologram friend. One of the
Mhm.
and she's talking shit to it. So, a note about the way Hack talks. It's almost too much.
It's like almost like Cockney rhyming slang, but Japanese.
It's
Reminds
right.
me of the Doctor Who.
It's a bunch of rhyming shit. Yeah, it's very timey-wimey. And she does almost enough of it to enrage me, but not quite enough. So imagine you were tiptoeing past like a sleeping dragon and made a noise a little bit too loud and they went, they snorted. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what
Yeah. Yeah,
just
that's.
on the edge. But anyway, she's trying to kick her shit off, and oh ho, Barry has appeared with her little rose thing, and she just say, "Hey, I've got this," and she lunges for it and goes right through her because fucking hologram. She didn't walk there. She drags her into a holodeck.
Mm-hmm.
The hyperverse, I think they're calling it, so that
Yeah.
they can have a talk.
Yeah.
And she's just like, "Hey, you're Phantom Zero, right? Tell me about Phantom Zero. I gotta know. Tell me. And Hex just like, I'm mad. Give me my thing.
My hacky wacky or
My
whatever she's calling it.
Yeah.
A hacky thingy.
Give me my thingy back."
Yeah.
And she says a bunch of rhyming Cockney slang in the space of a few seconds that I didn't catch. But
Mhm.
she just melts the room. She's just
Yeah.
like, "No, goodbye, later, asshole."
Yeah.
So Barry
And then
just
like doxes her and goes.
yeah,
to
yeah.
house.
Barry goes to sleep, but then she just shows up outside of a window, and she's just like, "How did you find me?" It's like I did the thing you did. It's just backwards. I followed the signal from the thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks for giving me the idea.
And she tries to take it back. And she a couple of different ways. She pretends to fall and all sorts of shit. She's like invisible this whole time, so Barry has to close her left eye to look at her.
Yeah.
And while they're bitching at each other and struggling over it, you notice that there's these big icons that have hearts and numbers beside them throughout the whole like place. So I assume Citizens United is also a thing in Tom Sawyer because buildings appear to have love scores. And
Yep.
you see all of them in the background just start draining to zero.
Yep.
I don't know if you caught it, but there was like one scene of like a dude playing with an animal, and the dude had like 90 likes, and like the animal had like 4,000.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's an old lady playing with like a seal.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, they start draining, and she's just like, "Oh shit, is this the zero effect?" And Hax is like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" It's just like, "Oh shit,
we
gotta
gotta get out of here.
We gotta get the fuck out of here!" And they get sucked into the hyperverse this time. This time into a version of like they get sucked into Reboot
Yeah, it's.
from Canadian TV.
Mhm.
Or perhaps the film the early 3D animated film Robots. But
Mhm.
what?
No. I for some reason, whenever I was watching this scene, because of the parkour that they get to do, I was thinking of Mirror's Edge.
Well,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
no, we'll get to that. But
Do you know
yeah,
what's weird? I just want to point out is that this is the like. Weirdly, I was like, "Oh, finally some compelling art," but I feel like that's a bit mean. Just like the 3D design, I thought was like really interesting. I don't know.
No, that's valid.
Moving on. Yeah, some zeros start appearing. This is a really heavy visual metaphor, but yeah, a bunch of zeros start showing up, and Hack is just like, "Don't touch that shit. We have to go." So yeah, they flee them, and they end up on split on like 2 tracks, like it's a side-scrolling video game.
Mm-hmm.
Because Hack is much better at parkour.
Yeah.
And eventually she does end up rescuing Barry from the lower track because she's got nowhere to go.
Yeah, the
Mm-hmm.
Barry
After-
hits like a dead end.
After some Mirror's Edge antics.
Yep.
And drags her up top. And takes the thing back because she's stunned at the situation. She's like, I got my thing back.
Yep.
Bye.
Later, fucker. And they keep running, and she's just shouting. She's like, "Come back here! Tell me about Phantom Zero." Until they get to a dead end, and Hack points up at what looks to be like a black woman with like no face and just like pixel distortion where their eyes would be floating in the sky, and she's just like, "That one." It's
That's the Glitchy-Witchy.
The Glitchy-Bitchy.
The Glitchy-Bitchy.
Wow.
That's the one that's fucking everything up. It's Phantom Zero, and then it cuts. Then it's over.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's,
then
that's the episode.
roundabout kicks on.
Roundabout.
Do.
To a pretty good outro as well.
Mhm.
So yeah, now it's time for me to freak out.
You're just like, I've been barely holding it together this whole time.
This place is miserable.
This place?
They took the economic system from Death Stranding and made it capitalist.
I know. I hardly had any notes in this show because I don't like, what are you supposed to write? But one of the few notes that I wrote was, "This baffles and terrifies me."
So yeah,
Gamer City.
I'm gonna put it this way: like, I found everything to be really nice to look at. The characters well designed, like really pleasant, like chunky art style, a little bit Cal Arts inspired.
Yeah. Very like Steven Universe.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little
bit of the Cal Arts feel, but definitely an anime at the same time.
Yes.
It's everything was nice and rounded. There were a bunch of fun freaks standing around in every scene outside.
Yeah, but it's also like she would come across like her friend in public, and the friend would be like a fish,
just like a fish. Which really, like, the fridge horror of this is what gets me. Is because like you have no choice. They put these in your head whenever you're like 4 years old.
Yeah,
and I know it exists so that you can be shown advertisements. It's it's so
perfect
close.
Implementation of liberalism. What do you want?
It's a perfect implementation of liberalism. It reminds me of that. It reminds me of that tweet where somebody was talking about like Bezos or somebody, and they just said, "If I look up in the night sky, it's something Elon Musk wanted to do, where he wanted to put up a bunch of satellites to project things into the fucking atmosphere, and it's like if I look into the night sky and see an advertisement for Coca-Cola, I'm going to become a terrorist."
Yeah, you're right.
I think that the character design was really good. I didn't like the environmental design very much, mostly just because I think that the AR stuff just seemed kind of like sparse. Like sparser than what I would expect for this universe.
Well, Black Hole, she couldn't afford it. She didn't afford better AR. She didn't have enough love.
That's a good point.
I think Black Hole means in general, and I kind of agree in that it does feel like a bunch of cubes with like floating stuff tacked on every now and then. Which
yeah, the city itself looks miserable. It exists to be a billboard.
I think it would be interesting if the city you only really start to see how sparse it is once you see it out of her broken eye or whatever. That'd be kind of interesting. But
yeah, like a little divergent storytelling there.
Yeah, kind of.
If the AR covered more of the city.
Yeah, if you ever seen the short film Hyperreality, that kind of thing. And what else was I gonna say? I think honestly, this was very Black Core.
I was gonna say that it seemed Black Core.
It just makes me want to finish Denocoil and then watch this. It feels like if they made Denocoil like after social media became a thing.
Yeah.
Because Denocoil is from the 90s.
Mhm.
And like very
it's from before. It's from that fucking Lane era.
Yeah, exactly.
Computer internet shit.
Very, very much Lane-esque. And one thing that struck me interesting and had like weird implications was when her eye patch, which is a real life object, hit the zero, it disappeared. It like disintegrated.
It disappeared.
Yeah,
it's bad.
It's scary.
Yeah, that in Denocoil, a similar thing can happen where like there's sort of like two layers of reality. One is like real reality, and one is like the sort of AR reality. And there can be like walls that are real in real reality, but are broken in the fake reality. And so you can have like virtual pets get lost into those holes.
Oh, like the slipping into the fucking back rooms?
Yeah, yeah.
That's
So in
so
Denocoil,
scary.
like their pets get lost in the back rooms, and they have to use like they have to use like props to like pull them out, essentially like Gmod props to pull them out of that. Like it's a good show. I would recommend it, honestly.
Anyway.
I've seen images of it and it looks really nice.
Yeah. It's fun.
So
and people like shoot lasers at each other.
Cool. So yeah, my summary of the show is the shows well drawn, mostly looks interesting. Voice acting seems good. Characters are fine.
The music was bopping.
The fictional world that they live in, it's a nightmare existence.
Yes. It's like the scary, like one of the more scary, like rainbow colored kindergarten preschool looking room universes.
I would say that like if the show is like if the show there's a level of fridge horror, right? Well, not even fridge horror, but like regular horror. And I think that the show does a good job, like not even getting close to like changing the tone, which is I find interesting. Like even like in this like Phantom Zero world, it's like still kind of lighthearted.
Yeah.
And it's just like I just like the idea of a show that has such an undercurrent of horror that is just not even like acknowledging it.
It's not acknowledged. Yeah, it's a fun adventure for Barry. She's not going to think about it.
It's a metaphor. It's a metaphor for AR. This show is really lighthearted, over top, like.
Yeah, it is. When you turn it off, you see just the burning garbage cans and the demons roaming the street.
It is very funny that Barry nearly gets disintegrated by pixels, and she's just like, "Whoops, that was silly."
She's like, "Oh."
Wow.
I mean, I feel like when you live in a society like that, you kind of have to like think like that. Otherwise,
well, they mentioned that there's quote unquote no crime on Tom Sawyer, and people everything just goes smoothly all the time,
right?
Which suggests that these people would probably have like an almost like suicidal level of disregard for danger because they don't understand it.
Yeah, but also there was a thing that the parents were talking about where like, oh, this Zero thing, it's not real, but these children are so bored, they're looking for enrichment.
Yeah,
they need enrichment in their enclosure.
Humans weren't designed to live in a society like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. We're weird, violent monkeys.
We gotta go goblin mode sometimes.
Do you know what's weird? Is I feel like this show would be ripe for like a huge because this is using a lot of like this is just like trope city as far as like AR like VR like movies go. Like we've been comparing it to Denocoil, we've been comparing it to Summer Wars. Like it'd be so interesting if halfway through you realize that like this is actually the afterlife.
Oh God!
And the afterlife is just like this, which is horrifying.
So it's Transistor, anyway.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So
or like an alien zoo or something like that.
So anyway, my final verdict on this is I hate AR Hell. I hate AR Hell. This is okay though. I might watch some more, but it gives me bizarre feelings to view.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say my only complaint was just how sparse the environments are, and I think that might just be a consequence of like the budgetary restrictions of the show. It just I don't like. I can understand it. It's just like I feel like they bit off more than they can chew.
Yeah,
but that's more of like technical like implementation
Mhm.
complaint than
You
like
can
me
get what they're
complaining anything
going
about the
for
show.
still.
Yeah. Everything else is fine. Everything
Yep.
else is good.
Yeah, I mainly picked the show because I saw some of the character art and I was like, oh, this is different. But
Mm-hmm.
I like it a lot. Hack sometimes like reminds me of a mix of like Ed from Bebop and like a Gorilla's character.
Yeah.
What Noodle?
Yeah.
Yeah, kind
She's
of
got
got
a
some
little.
noodle energy.
She's got a little bit of Haruhara Haruko in there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not much.
I'm very glad to see different kinds of characters because I feel like we're constantly just seeing like Kirito's.
There,
And just like
Yeah.
marry a fucking Kirito inside.
Nope.
yeah,
God
No
bless it.
Kirito's here.
saved.
In fact,
Saved.
they showed some of the other characters that were going to be in this, and I was like, oh, we
They're
got
all different and good. They're all
we got like an
Like,
old lady and like
we
a
got
mustache cat, like this black
old
guy with
lady.
a big afro, and
Yeah.
some interesting like secondary characters.
uh-huh.
So yeah.
We gonna watch more of this?
I
Yeah.
might.
I might look at it. I don't know.
Yeah, I might.
I gotta watch
I might
more
finish
Pocky.
I gotta finish Deco Coil. This just makes
Fair
me want to
enough.
watch that.
I
If I finish watching that and need more like AR fix, then I'll watch this.
yeah, I'm gonna be the odd one out and say I don't know if I would watch more of this.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
I don't know if it hooked me.
Mm-hmm.
What if I told you that it's against the law to not watch it more of it?
It will be plastered on every single horizontal surface. Even vertical ones. It'll be in the sky when you look outside.
It's
It'll
on the
literally
back of your
You
eyelids while
must
you sleep.
continue.
it'll be played on a plane floating in space, and it'll just slowly get closer to your eyes until you're
Yeah.
done watching.
The nice thing is that I can just play this back later anytime I like.
God. Here's a horrifying thought: AR screamers. I don't like that idea.
Yeah. No, like I've seen a bunch of media like this. Like that shit happens in like Shadowrun. Like
Yeah.
like because people are evil and you give them a all encompassing AR system, they will fuck with you.
Yeah. Yeah, in
Anyway.
Deco Coil they have glasses they can take off, but in this one you have to gouge your own eyes out.
They're built into your fucking skull.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was the tone of the like environment or whatever, but I felt like there was a level of accepted nihilism that you also see in Bebop.
Yeah.
So I feel like I was like, I don't know, I was getting Bebop vibes from this show, but
I
like
can
not
see a little
in
bit.
not in like the Spike Siegel way, but just in the way like the world was.
Yeah, no, I can see that too.
Yeah.
I'm not saying definitely no more of this for me,
Oh,
by the way. It's just
no,
that I
yeah,
don't know.
yeah, for
Anyway,
sure.
anyway, listener, if you'd like to tell us about which technological horrors beyond your comprehension haunt you at night, you can do that at oneepisodecast@gmail.com.
That is one the word, not the number. Hey, we need love to live, so come give us some likes on Twitter. We are at One Episode Cast on Twitter. Please.
Yeah, I need them. I need them. Listen, I'm walking through a place that looks like Greenland and carrying a big ladder and a bunch of packages on my back, and I need your likes.
To get
You gotta
through
give
the
us
night.
likes, because I need to buy the avatar that looks like a worm creature.
I need shampoo.
JoJo needs the. Yeah, you need basic services. That's what they also don't talk about. It's just like if you're not popular enough, they turn off the fucking water service to your house.
Yeah, I do need to look like a clip art of a purple worm. That's all.
JoJo wants to become Dr. Worm.
You're not a real doctor, but by God,
I
you
am
are
an
a
actual
real worm.
worm.
Yeah.
We gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
Hey, you need to plug the Twitter, right?
We just did.
Oh crap! Sorry, I got distracted by the worm.